So how's everybody doing today? I haven't put anything up in a while. I think that I've been going through some stuff and it's been hard to do a lot of the daily day-to-day stuff that I've been trying to do. So I think that the latest things I've come up with is that Trump is running for president again. Can anybody believe it? So it's going to be Joe Biden versus Trump. Joe Biden versus Trump. I think that Trump because he's being accused of sexual assault by somebody. They're he's going through trial right now. He's going through trial, and so he's being banned from some of the upcoming debates. He's not going to be allowed to debate in some of the future debates that are coming up. But it depends if he gets prosecuted or not. So I think there's an Ice Cube song right now that says "Arrest the President." It is talking about Trump. It says "Arrest the President, arrest the President," and it's about Trump. So they said when he was in presidency, there's arrest that fool because he's done a lot of stuff. He did a lot of stuff like it said one time that grab the pussy. He was talking about a girl. He said, all you got to do is grab the pussy, grab the pussy. And they're like, that's why he's a pussy grabbing asshole, because he said, grab the pussy. And not a lot of people are going to say, grab a girl's pussy. So it's like, what are you trying to say? He's trying to say that he's going to sexually harass women. He also said that Hillary Clinton was a nasty woman. You nasty woman at the debate. He was like, you nasty woman at the debate. So he was calling Hillary Clinton a nasty woman. So I think that he's getting banned from some of the debates. If he loses the case, if he wins the case, then he might be running for president. So who's running up against Joe Biden? Is Joe Biden. Is Donald Trump is going to be again. If he goes through with it, then there's going to be a future election again with Joe Biden against Donald Trump. I think what's her name? The Senator Barbara Lee's running for office too. I don't know if she's running for president or Senate. I don't know what she's running for, but I know that Barbara Lee's going to be in the election too. They already have Ocasio in there, running for New York. They have Sotomayor, who's a Latina. They have Jimmy Gomez, also in the Senate or House of Representatives. I don't know for what state. Jimmy Gomez. And they have Jimmy Gomez, Sotomayor. They have Ocasio. They have Kamala, who's a progressive. And they have Joe Biden, who's a Democrat. And they have Donald Trump running as a Republican. So I think that when it comes to elections, a lot of people say don't vote, or not don't vote. It depends on what you feel about elections. Some people say it's not going to work. We don't vote because it's not going to affect us. Because of the presidency, I think it was of Clinton or I forgot, or Bush. They said that they robbed the election. I forgot which elections it was. They said they robbed the election, so they don't believe that the elections are fair, or that they that the people actually have a voice at all. But how do you get measures passed? Through voting. Through voting, and I think that if you vote, then your voice will be heard, and then you might have the measures might be passed or not passed. Then the candidates might be passed or not passed, depending. But then again, Senate and the House of Representatives also has a vote, and they get the deciding vote also. So they decide who becomes president and who doesn't become president. So it's like who in the end is going to be president? Joe Biden or Donald Trump? And if Donald Trump doesn't run, then who's going to be the other running mate? It's already 2 years in. The debate's already going to start 2 years in. I think they got into. I think Joe Biden started in 2021, January 2021. They got sworn in with Kamala. Something I don't like is that Joe Biden is focusing on Social Security. Kamala doesn't say much. Kamala Harris doesn't come out and talk a lot in the public address like Joe Biden. I know Pence was had a lot to say. He was always speaking around when it was Trump and Pence. They both had a lot to say. They were always in the public view. Kamala isn't, but she comes out in a lot of interviews. Kamala Harris in interviews. Kamala Harris in interviews. The first African American uh, vice president. She comes out a lot of interviews, but I don't hear her much in the um, debates. Not the debates. The public hearings or anything like that. I think that like I don't know if it's because she's a woman, African American. I mean, Obama had a lot to say. Obama had a lot. He was had so much to say, but like Kamala, I don't see her do it. It's like they need to step it up. Then Kamala and Joe Biden, the coronavirus, they both um were focused on coronavirus and not enough politics. A lot was happening now. It's like reproductive health. What's going on is in that state, reproductive health and abortion pill. They should do it not over the counter but with the prescription pill. So I don't know if it got passed or not. So it's like they're doing that one, which is liberal politics. It's like who would I mean like they're having an issue with introducing liberal politics into the United States. Which is like that is always the issue from the Republican perspective. They don't want to introduce liberal politics or anything that seems too far off from what the church or the Christian church, Protestant, the WASP, or the Republicans are gonna think. I think that like I think that with a lot of liberals, a lot of people vote, but a lot of people don't vote. Like I heard that African Americans don't vote because they really do not feel. I'm not sure the reason, but they feel that they don't make it. They don't feel that voting is going to speak for them. And I know that for Obama, it was the first time that African Americans went to the voting polls. Not the first time, but a lot of them went and voted for Obama. So and that's how Obama got voted in. So did Kamala because it was the first time that a lot of African Americans stepped into a voting post and heard made their vote count. So that's how they got sworn in. That's what I heard. They had a lot of African American support. So it was one of the first few times that African Americans stepped out and voted, even if they have voting privileges or not. It's like undocumented people don't have voting rights. They don't have documentation. They don't have citizenship, so they can't step up and vote for Latinos for measures to pass for immigrants' rights. I know that now they have health care for undocumented people. So undocumented people get health care and they have accessibility to health care licenses. California does, and licenses and car insurance. So they have liability for their actions for the when they drive a car. So I think that like Latinos and African Americans are people of color, but they don't have the same. It's not the same measures that are going to be passed for both of them. Neither for Asians, for um, Middle Easterns or Muslims or anybody out there. I think that like politics are not everybody has the same perspective. I mean, if you can talk politics, that's good enough, but not everybody's gonna go and debate for an hour and 45 minutes, half an hour debates on like what is if something's right or not. At the end, you're gonna be like, it is what it is, and I don't feel the same way that you do. You don't feel the same way. I can't change your perspective, or you can't change my perspective. But let me my voice be heard or not. I think that at the end, you're gonna. There's some people don't change their minds, and you can't change their minds at all, and it's not gonna. It's just not. There's nothing you can do. And some people like me, or some people I've been in debates where I'm just gonna be like, it is what it is. I can't change your perspective, and then maybe we could still talk and things about things, but it's not gonna affect my point of view or your point of view. And a lot of people don't feel that way. Some people are like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear anybody else's perspective. I don't want to see anything about that other about the other side of what things could be like or couldn't be like. But then I have a liberal mindset, and it's like I don't know If a lot of people would feel the same way I do, especially when it comes to the church and it comes to things that I'm not saying. Yes, I am. I think I think that a lot of people are not going to see eye to eye on things like that. So anyway, the next election is going to be Donald Trump and Joe Biden again for the second time. Just like Hillary Clinton ran 2 or 3 times against Obama and against Donald Trump. But she never stepped in, so they couldn't see a white woman in power, but they put Kamala Harris in power. So that's a good thing. It's like there can be an African American president, there can be an African American vice president who's a woman, an African American, but they don't want a white woman. They didn't want Hillary Clinton. Are they going to put a Latina? I mean, Ocasio in there, but like, are they going to put her in as a president? They're going to put a Latina president. Are they going to put a Middle Eastern president, an Asian president? See where I'm going with this? So we already have the 2 African Americans in power. Obama already did it, and now we have Kamala. So stuff African Americans have been really stepping up. It's like, and what have are the other groups been doing too? I think that like not a lot of people are gonna step up into politics. I think that like I'm not saying that everybody should do politics. Everybody's gonna run for office, and I think that like when Donald Trump went into power, 20 women launched their politics career because they got tired of what Trump was saying, and they were like pussy grabbing ass. That he's a pussy grabbing asshole. He's talking about nasty women. That other politicians who are women are nasty women. So it's like so they got tired of it, and 20 women made a career, made their political career based on what Donald Trump was saying. They launched their political campaigns based on what Donald Trump was saying, and it's like I think that it's just no end to this. It is what it is. People are gonna vote or not. It's like, are you gonna make your voice count and go vote? I mean, not everybody believes that voting is gonna count. I've talked to many people who say I'm not gonna vote at all. I don't think it makes a difference. I don't think it affects. It's gonna change the way the government affects the policy making or the lawmaking. I don't think it's gonna our versus counts at all. Especially when it comes. I forgot which one was it, Clinton or George W. Bush. I think one of those elections was rigged, and they said that they had to do a recount, a recall. So it's like, I mean, who will you vote for? And I mean, you don't have to be a Democrat. You don't have to be a progressive. I mean, there's a lot of Republicans out there. There's a lot of there's socialists too, and there's um, Democrats. So I think that like, especially with Bernie Sanders, launched his career as a Democrat socialist. Kamala's a progressive. Joe Biden as a Democrat. I mean, we have a Democrat and a progressive in politics, both of them. And do you feel that are they doing any change or not? Do you think that things have been changing, or are they doing excellent work? I mean, sometimes I just get happy that there's a Democrat in place. You see what I mean? But anyways, I think that this Trump thing, he's getting accused of sexual assault from this woman who's saying that she was victimized by him a long time ago. It was like he's been getting a lot of claims of sexual abuse, sexual harassment, and a lot of different accusations of all the things he's done in his life. I mean, he always does his speech at Mar-Lago. At Mar-Lago, he's always doing it at Mar-Lago. When Donald Trump or Mar-Lago, it's in Florida, right? Mar-Lago is in Florida. So I think that's where he lives, in Mar-Lago. So he's always doing his speech at Mar-Lago. It's like, I think that he's going to talk no matter what happens. So we might as well start preparing to vote for a Democrat or a progressive if you're a Democrat or a progressive or a socialist. I mean, we have Joe Biden again and Donald Trump. So who do you think is going to win? it's gonna be hard because Donald Trump lost the last election and Joe Biden won, but Joe Biden hasn't been doing much either. So I don't want to say Donald Trump is gonna win, especially if they're gonna accuse him of rape or anything. If he's gonna if he ends up in jail, because nobody knows if he's gonna end up in jail or not. Is he gonna end up in jail? Is he gonna be acquitted of all charges? I mean, he has a lot of money. He has a lot of money. It's like, it's just, it sucks how the way our system is working. And it's like, that's why Ice Cube had that song, Arrest the President, Arrest the President, Arrest the President. It's like, and he was talking about Donald Trump, arrest him for all the charges he's done and all the bad things he's been doing, especially with Russia. Well, he had to influence the world with Russia. And it was, everybody knew that it had to do with Russia. And coronavirus, they're blaming it on China. That coronavirus started in China. If it didn't start in China, it started in the United States then. Because the first cases after China were United States. So it's like they're saying they're blaming it on China. So if it's not China, then it's the United States. I mean, who to believe? It's like, they blame it on the Chinese, but it's like the second cases were in the United States. So it might have been the Americans too who had the cases of coronavirus. You see what I mean? Anyways, that's it for now. I'll see you guys later. Bye.